very well off. No one could figure out why she stole 25-cent Tangy lipsticks. That's got nothing to do with the baby. I'm saying Isabel Barnett is barmy. You can't depend on anything she says or does. She's lived all by herself for so long, she probably talks to the walls. I know she's got a parrot, and they probably sit up half the night jawing. She stiff-armed her glass at me. It happened over 20 years ago. Why would she remember what this infant looked like, even if it had solid gold teeth? Now get me another rumba, if you please. I knew I couldn't make her say more, and maybe she'd said all that she could anyway. It'll have to be something else. The rum's down to a ghost of itself. Just something sweet. Make up one of your Count of Monte Cristo at Miami Beach drinks. I set the glass on my tray, deciding there was nothing more to be gained by a further drink blackmail. So I left, still wondering about Miss Isabel Barnett. The trouble was that one of my theories about this baby that disappeared from the Belle Ruin years ago was that there never had been a baby at the hotel, for no one had actually seen one. Not even the babysitter, Gloria Spiker. I figured maybe the baby had sickened and died, and for some reason Imogene and Morris Slade, the mother and father, didn't want anyone to know. It probably had to do with a big inheritance or something. I also had a theory that the Slades had arranged the kidnapping so they could collect the ransom. But no ransom demand had been made. Then Miss Isabel Barnett claimed to have looked into the carriage when the Slades were in LaPorte, getting medicine for the baby. She had seen the baby, she said. Now, Aurora Paradise was claiming Miss Isabel had always been a liar. I walked heavily down the stairs with my serving tray and Aurora's glass, thinking truth was hard bought. Chapter 2. Behind the hotel are several buildings. A cottage where we used to live when we were little, now set aside for guests who preferred the privacy of separate rooms, and 2 garages, one big and one small. The small one now filled with cast-off furniture, empty paint cans, and spare timber. The big garage was once used for guests' cars, and it could hold at least 20 of them. Now it was used as a theater, housing Will and Mill's productions. Mill is Brown Miller Conroy. His first name passed down through his family. No parent could be so mean as to make up such a name. We shortened it to Mill. As usual, there was a lot of commotion inside the big garage. And, as usual, at my knock, silence fell like a blanket dropped over the clamor. I don't know how they did this. Silenced everything like flipping a switch. Will and Mill demanded total secrecy. They did not want anyone to know anything in advance of the production. I wondered why, and decided that they wanted to burst onto the scene with all of it so new it looked like the opening of the world. As if none of us had really lived until the moment the curtain went up. As if the sun and moon had sailed around with blinkers on. It was no good trying to bang on the door. I just sighed and waited. Finally, the side door opened, reluctantly, and Will appeared. That is, half of his face appeared through the opening.
What?
Paul's mother's looking for him. That was a lie, and Will probably knew it, as Paul's mother was hardly ever looking for him, except when it was time to go home. What have you got him doing?
Nothing.
Listen, let me in.
No.
I smiled. Okay, then I'll tell everybody about your airplane set. They'd been working on this set ever since Medea the Musical had closed a week ago, to thunderous applause. Will and Mill had made scads of money on that production. They had even extended its run, one of the many Broadway show terms Will liked to use. But they seemed to spend all their money on Orange Crush and moon pies and the pinball machines over across